Did you know that our brains are only able to remember about 10% of what we read? Yes, you heard that right, 90% of the information you read could vanish within days if you don't use the right techniques. Shocking, right? But what if you could change that? Imagine remembering everything you read and retaining that information long enough to use it whenever you need. The good news is that with a few simple strategies, you can dramatically boost your memory. It doesn't take hours of hard work or a superhuman brain. You just need the right tricks, backed by science, to help you remember more and recall faster. In this video, you'll learn proven techniques like using a memory palace, the Feynman Technique, and more. These are not your typical, everyday methods, these are the ultimate memory hacks that top speakers and learners swear by. Ready to unlock your brain's true potential and never forget what you read again? Keep watching, and let's dive into the secrets of powerful memory. Chapter 1: The Power of Mental Highlighting. Unleash your brain's sticky notes. When you read, your brain is like a sponge soaking up information. But without a strategy, it's easy for that information to slip through your mind. Enter mental highlighting, a simple but powerful technique. When you read, instead of physically highlighting the text, mentally highlight key phrases or concepts. This strategy taps into your brain's natural ability to focus on what matters most. The human brain can only hold about 7 items in short-term memory at once. By focusing on the essential bits of information, you prevent overload and make recall much easier. A study by the University of California found that the more selective you are about what you focus on, the better your retention becomes. So, next time you read, think about what stands out as important and give those pieces your full attention. It's like using sticky notes for your brain. Chapter 2: The Memory Palace Secret. Transform your mind into a mansion of knowledge. Imagine walking through a familiar place, maybe your house. Now, imagine that each room holds a memory or a piece of information you want to remember. That's the memory palace technique, and it's one of the oldest and most powerful memory techniques in existence. First used by ancient Greek orators, the method involves associating information with vivid mental images and spatial locations. The trick? The more bizarre or unusual the image, the easier it is to remember. A study in the journal Memory and Cognition revealed that people who used this technique were able to recall 70% more information than those who didn't. It's like turning your brain into a mansion, each room filled with important facts you can revisit at any time. Chapter 3: The 3 rupees. Recall, relate, reiterate. Triple your memory with these simple moves. You may think that simply reading information will help you remember it, but that's not enough. The real key to retention is active engagement. This is where the 3 rupees come in: recall, relate, reiterate. First, try to recall what you just read. Recalling something immediately after reading helps move it from short-term to long-term memory. Next, relate the information to something personal or familiar. For example, if you read a chapter on leadership, think about a time when you led a team. Relating new information to something you already know makes it stick better. Finally, reiterate the concept by speaking it aloud. When you verbally explain something, you engage both your brain and your body, making the information even more memorable. A study in psychological science found that students who used these techniques had a 60% higher recall rate than those who only read passively. This simple trio can change how you remember what you read and help you deliver it confidently when you speak. Before we move to the next chapter, don't forget to subscribe. You won't want to miss the next memory-boosting hack that could change the way you read forever. Chapter 4: Mind Mapping for Memory. Turn your thoughts into visual powerhouses. Reading without organizing the material is like storing files in a disorganized pile. But when you map out your thoughts, everything starts to make sense. That's the power of mind mapping. A mind map is a visual representation of the information you've just read. Start with the main idea in the center and branch out into subtopics. These visual tools are incredibly effective because they engage both the logical and creative parts of your brain. According to a study published in Educational Psychology, people who use mind maps are able to recall 50% more information than those who simply read a text. This strategy works because it helps you see the bigger picture, allowing you to connect ideas and retain them better. The brain loves patterns and visuals, so when you map out what you learn, your mind naturally keeps track of all the details. Chapter 5: The Feynman Technique. Simplify to amplify your memory. One of the best ways to truly understand and remember what you read is by explaining it to someone else. This is the essence of the Feynman Technique, named after the Nobel-winning physicist Richard Feynman. The technique is simple: teach what you've just learned, as if explaining it to a child. The idea is to break complex concepts into simple, easy-to-understand language. By doing this, you uncover gaps in your knowledge, and that helps you retain the material better. A study from the Journal of Educational Psychology found that people who taught others what they learned had a 90% higher retention rate than those who only studied for themselves. When you simplify information and teach it aloud, you're reinforcing the material in your mind. It's like turning your brain into a sponge, soaking up everything, and then wringing it out to get the most out of it. Chapter 6, The Art of Emotional Engagement. Make your memory work on autopilot. Finally, if you want to make sure you never forget what you read, tie it to emotions. It's simple, emotions enhance memory. You've probably noticed that you remember emotional moments much better than neutral ones. That's because our brains are wired to prioritize emotional experiences. In fact, research from Harvard Medical School shows that we are more likely to remember information that is emotionally charged. When reading, try to connect the material to something that excites, surprises, or moves you. Whether it's a funny story, an inspiring quote, or a moment of excitement, the emotional connection will help lock the information in your mind. This technique also works wonders when preparing for speeches. If you feel passionate about a topic, your audience will feel that energy. And the best part? You'll retain the information more effectively. By combining these 6 strategies, mental highlighting, memory palaces, the 3 rupees, mind mapping, the Feynman technique, and emotional engagement, you'll boost your memory, make learning stick, and become a confident speaker. Keep practicing these methods, and watch as your ability to remember and share knowledge improves dramatically. Whether you're giving a speech or simply trying to retain more of what you read, these tricks will serve you well. If you found these techniques helpful, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more tips on improving your speaking and memory skills. You won't want to miss the next big hack.